When it comes to the worst crimes committed to be ever recorded in history, I think there are a few names that pop into both of our minds. We have crimes committed by Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy, aka the Clown Murderer. But is it possible that there are more shocking crimes aside from those you already know? Hi there, welcome to Eventful Insights. Today we'll be talking about a topic that catches the attention of many, real-life crimes that have shocking details. Among these cases, what 9 crimes do you think prove to be the most shocking? Let's find out. Before we begin, we'd like to know in the comments below, what crime do you know that is personally the most shocking to you? And let's see if we have that on our list. So now let's begin with number 9, the Papin sisters. This is a case that you might not have heard of before. French sisters Léa and Christine Papin were live-in servants for the Lancelin family in France back in 1926. They were quiet and kept to themselves, working efficiently for almost 7 years. However, in February 1933, something snapped, and they brutally killed their employers. Mr. Lancelin, returning home after waiting for his wife at a friend's house, discovered his wife and adult daughter dead on the floor, in a pool of blood. Their eyes were gouged out, and faces were smashed in. The Papin sisters were found locked in their room, and the police had to bring in a locksmith to open the door. Inside, they discovered the sisters lying on the bed with a bloody hammer nearby. The Papin sisters confessed to the murders right away. While in prison, Christine struggled with being separated from her sister and eventually experienced a mental breakdown. She attempted to gouge out her own eyes and passed away in an asylum in 1937. Léa was released from prison in 1943 and secured a job at a French hotel under a new identity. She lived until 1982. What a way to start off our list, right? At number 8, we have the Tara Calico case. Tara Calico, a 19-year-old college student, disappeared while biking near her Belen, New Mexico home on September 20th, 1988. Despite an extensive search, she never returned, and neither her bike nor cassette player was ever recovered. A year later, a Polaroid picture surfaced in a Florida parking lot featuring a bound and gagged young woman and a boy. The woman resembled Tara, according to her mother, but the boy was initially believed to be Michael Henley, another missing child from New Mexico. Unfortunately, Michael Henley was later found deceased in the mountains. The authenticity and origin of the photograph have never been confirmed. Over the years, Tara's family received several similar photos, but none were verified as Tara. Her fate remains a mystery. Have you watched any documentaries related to Tara's case? You might want to check our video on this case if you want to know more about it. Then, at number 7, we have the Taman Shud case. The Taman Shud case is one of the most puzzling unsolved murders globally, happening in Adelaide, Australia in 1948. An unidentified man was discovered dead on a beach with no ID, no signs of violence, and an unclear cause of death. The only lead to his identity was a scrap of paper in his pocket with the words Taman Shud, meaning ended or finished in Persian. This paper matched a rare edition of a poetry book, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, found in a car near the beach. The book had a phone number and a code on the back cover, but they didn't provide any clear answers. To this day, the man's identity, cause of death, and connection to the book remains unknown. People have speculated that he might have been a spy, a lover, a victim of poisoning, or even a suicide. Moving to number 6, we have the Lindbergh baby case. The Lindbergh baby case refers to the abduction and killing of the renowned aviator Charles Lindbergh's son in 1932. A ransom note was discovered, leading to negotiations, but sadly, the baby was never returned. After 2 months, the baby's body was discovered. The investigation led the police to a German immigrant named Bruno Richard Hauptmann, who was arrested and charged for the crime. Hauptmann claimed innocence, stating he received the money from a deceased friend. Despite his denial, he was found guilty and executed in 1936. How cruel, right? At number 5, we have a paranormal crime case. How so? In 1977, Teresita Basa, a 47-year-old respiratory therapist in Chicago, Illinois, was discovered stabbed and burned in her apartment on February 21st. Initially, the police had no leads or suspects. However, a hospital co-worker named Remy Chua provided an unusual tip. Chua claimed that she was possessed by Basa's spirit, who revealed her killer as Alan Showery, another hospital employee. According to Basa's spirit, Showery had visited her apartment to fix the TV but ended up robbing and murdering her. Though the police were skeptical, they decided to investigate Showery. They found Basa's jewelry in his possession, given to his girlfriend as a gift. Showery also matched the description of the man seen leaving Basa's apartment on the day of the murder. Eventually, Showery confessed to the crime and was convicted in 1979. This case stands out as one of the rare instances where paranormal evidence played a role in a court conviction. Before we continue, what are your thoughts so far? Which crime has left you baffled the most? Tell us in the comments below. Now let's continue on our list. At number 4, the Jeanette De Palma case. Jeanette De Palma, a 16-year-old girl, disappeared on August 7, 1972, after telling her mom she was heading to a friend's place in Springfield Township, New Jersey. Unfortunately, she never made it there, and her body was only discovered 6 weeks later by a person walking their dog in a wooded area known as the Devil's Teeth. When found, her body was in a bad shape, surrounded by peculiar items like wooden crosses, animal bones, candles, and pentagrams. Some people who witnessed the scene mentioned signs of witchcraft or satanic rituals. The police labeled her death a homicide but couldn't pinpoint any suspects or motives. They dismissed rumors of occult involvement as baseless. However, some locals still believe Jeanette might have been killed by a cult or someone practicing black magic. We're getting to know crimes of different natures so far, right? We're now down to the last 3 cases on our list. For number 3, we have American serial killer Robert Berdella. Robert Berdella, an American serial killer, committed heinous acts, torturing and murdering 6 men in Kansas City, Missouri, between 1984 and 1987. Due to the brutality of his killings, he earned the nicknames the Butcher of Kansas, or the Kansas City Butcher. Berdella's reign of terror came to an end when one of his victims managed to escape and notified the police. Upon searching his residence, law enforcement discovered Polaroid photographs of the victims, alongside human skulls, bones, teeth, and other incriminating evidence. Berdella admitted to his crimes and received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He passed away from a heart attack while in prison in 1992. Then at number 2, we have John George Hay case. John George Hay, a British serial killer in the late 1940s, earned the nickname the Acid Bath Murderer because he disposed of his victims by burning them in sulfuric acid. He believed that without a body, he could avoid being caught for his crimes. His overconfidence led to his downfall when he guided the police to the remains of his 6th victim, 69-year-old Olive Durand Deacon. Hay killed her for money and jewelry, dissolving her body in acid. However, he failed to eliminate her dentures, which the police found along with other evidence. During the trial, Hay pleaded insanity and claimed he drank the blood of his victims. In 1949, he was found guilty and hanged a few months later. That was shockingly cruel, right? Now for number 1 on our list, this is a case that might be familiar to you, considering the movies and documentaries made about this serial killer. At number 1, we have the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer is a notorious and mysterious serial killer from Northern California, active in the late 1960s to the early 1970s. Despite claiming to have killed at least 37 people, only 7 deaths have been confirmed. This killer teased both the police and the public by sending puzzling letters and ciphers to newspapers, some of which remain unsolved. Adopting the moniker the Zodiac, he used a symbol of a circle with a cross as his signature. Despite numerous suspects and theories, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains undisclosed. Over the years, this enigma has inspired various books, movies, documentaries, podcasts, and TV shows, attempting to unravel the mystery. Did you ever get hooked by the mystery surrounding the Zodiac Killer too? And so, that's it. Those were the 9 most shocking crimes recorded in history. Which crime left you the most shocked by its cruel details? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to get notified of more videos like this. Thanks for watching.